Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Distraction and Discussion.
Hi.
We are recording live
Welcome.
from the broadcast bunker here in Secret Lair, Texas, and in, well, I guess it's Secret Lair, Nebraska as well.
I'm in a bat cave today, but...
Yeah, recording live from the field in the Batcave is one of our hosts, Dalton.
Yeah.
We have the cat wrangler, Scott.
Hello.
And as always, I am your host, Alex. I don't have a clever intro today because we are starting late as well because of a power outage that I experienced.
There was a fire.
There was a firefight. Never mind.
There was a firefight!
And there's the reference. Okay.
Gotcha.
On today's episodes, we are going to discuss several things, and I am going to actually get to play a game here in the beginning. Go figure, right? We teased last week an expose by our lovely host Scott on police in America and Europe. We are probably going to touch on the Alex Jones controversy. I'm sure everybody here has an opinion on that.
Yeah, that might be a big one.
Ooh. And a few other things, actually, but we'll see how that evolves organically. So as I continue to set up the stream, hashtag setup stream, please tweet at us as we now have a Twitter. Big announcements. Big announcements.
We're everywhere.
Yes, our influence is spreading. Soon we'll be able to influence elections. It'll be great.
Yeah, we're practically Russia.
And our meme bots are closely working on our newest set of influential memes. But more on that as the midterms come around. I don't know how long I want to keep this one up. All right. Without further ado, Scott, are you ready to give us some knowledge?
Oh, kind of. This is more of a discussion that I wanted to have about why police violence is so high in the United States compared to places like Great Britain and Germany and Norway and Sweden, all those wonderful European countries.
I thought we were civilized. We were the polite, civil... Whoa.
I didn't do it, I swear.
Sorry, guys.
Wasn't ready for that one.
It's going to continue for a whole second.
Hello?
Setting up the game. It's okay. This is, again, things I'm not prepared for.
Hashtag setup stream.
Well placed.
It'll be okay.
I know.
Okay. Can you guys hear that music?
No.
Okay, good. Hopefully there won't be any further distractions from this discussion. Yeah, right.
Dalton Stark again.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Go.
Why is there no master?
Trying to get back. There it is. Settings are great.
Yeah.
Batcave is great. I need to buy lighting. I need to buy like 6 things before I buy lighting though. So working on it.
Oh, there's
a
an
prop.
overall. God dang it.
I swear.
Yeah, this is good television right here. As I adjust random settings. All right. There shouldn't be any further distractions from you there, Scott. At least via the game.
That's fun. I'm actually trying to get some pictures for this.
Oh, cool.
So
maybe. Are you gonna display them on your camera?
No, I am
Are you gonna send them to me?
Going to put them in the chat.
Batcave have computer. Batcave has something.
We'll call that picture 1.
Oh, I should probably. Oh, there's this. Think it through, Alex. Think it through. Oh, that's just lovely. And this is where I wasn't anticipating something. Spectacular. Yep, okay. Let's do that.
Actually, forget that first image.
Too late.
Well, no, we'll go ahead and use that.
No. Everything you send must be posted.
Trust me, there's going to be a few seconds before I get everything set up properly. Because I'm going to unduplicate this display.
Hi, cat. You're getting in my way.
Holy crap. Teaser for things that it might be relevant later but might not. Did you know that for those NFL games like Madden and all that? What was it? Hold on. That sounds really bad. Madden NFL series, like that series of games, every year pays $50 million to the players that it's using, like the players union, like the NFL players that
the players union.
It licensed all their names, but generates upwards of $4 billion. Like $4 billion to 50 million. That's like 1,000th of it, 100th of it, 100th of it, 1/20th of it. I'm doing really bad math.
That's a pretty big gap.
I mean, not that I don't want the people who made the game, like the actual, but I don't think they're getting very much either. Probably the people developing. I'd imagine. I don't know. Seems like a really honest corporation. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, does it?
Unrelated segue. It sounded like we were killing airtime for a few seconds. I don't know.
Yeah,
Interesting.
let's just go with those two pictures.
They make a lot of money for a game, and not a lot goes to the players. That's all.
Put them side by side.
Interesting fact.
Now you're throwing curveballs at me.
I'm just gonna go back to. How about that?
Do it.
Back to.
Do it. Well, come on now.
Hey there, brother.
Can I open a second instance of picture? Can I do that? Or is it going to open up in the same instance?
Well, if you create two image layers.
Oh, I could just freaking put it in OBS.
Does time go slower in the second image? Or
all right, this is where I actually need a second display here.
Okay.
Hold on.
Why do you keep bothering me? Say hi.
Yes, stream
Hola.
meet kitten.
Hola, gato. So
See,
pretty.
the thing is, I have to actually like mess up y'all's camera on stream to access it, to access Discord, because it changes the size of your screen. So I have it on my laptop. I'm trying to figure out how to get my laptop.
So you need to
over
send
there.
it not through Discord, Scott. Just resend it through Facebook. Or something else.
Yeah.
Right? Does that solve the problem?
Let's see.
I feel like sometimes Alex is in charge of too many systems at once. Just like, I don't know. I wish we could take one away from him or something somehow. Make this whole thing just operate slightly. Figure something out.
Sent.
We'll get there eventually. We try our best. Things have been sent.
Got it.
One day I'll get a co-pilot.
Yeah, that will be the day.
Yeah.
That'd be the day everything starts smoothing out.
Can we like Uber down every Thursday?
Yeah, that wouldn't be nice.
Yeah.
Gonna go in. Stream. Bingo.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Got it. Okay. All right. That is
Perfect.
finally.
First try.
First try.
Well done.
For everybody in the YouTube video, yeah, this was a first try. Just don't ignore all the other content previous.
Nobody knows how much we just cut out of the video. Nobody knows. It's fine.
Edit.
Yep. No big deal.
Bitch. All right. So proud of myself sometimes.
We get there. Some days there's fires, some days there's not. It's no big deal.
Yeah, that's pretty apt actually. Yes. I wish to do this.
Salute. Salute, Mother Russia. I'll be quiet. Continue your story.
That's just fucking awesome. Does the slideshow give me better options? This is the first time I'm trying to do... Oh, I can make it do auto fade for a slideshow in OBS. I've never done the image stuff in OBS. I've only done the video and audio, which why the audio is such a separate entity is just another thing, but let's see. Clickety clackety. And that's gonna pop over. Okay, cool.
Bam. 2 images brought to you.
Professional.
Side by side. By adults who have computers.
Way to sell it, bud. Way to sell it. Holy crap. I still want to get a game in here somewhere, so I'm like trying to argue with visual real estate.
You're doing great.
All right, Scott, I do believe you can begin your discussion now that I have
visual aids.
And edit. Here we go.
Oh, that's all right. I don't know if I feel like it anymore. I'm kidding.
I quit the stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I quit the stream. This is
so
over.
Some things that I don't know, just been crossing my mind lately is how bad the police violence has gotten in the United States. Just even over the last 10, 15 years. And if you look at Europe, they have far fewer deaths by police, like by 100 times or so. And I just got to wondering why that was. But if you look at the American police, they're designed to look intimidating. They almost always carry firearms. And yeah, you're kind of designed to be scared of them per se.
Man, that reminds me of how the police cruisers are. They look so damn aggressive, you know?
No kidding. And actually, going to the cars, you know, police cars here in America are kind of hard to see.
Oh man,
like, hard to notice, I should say.
As I was driving through, no, get this, guys. As I was driving through Kansas, right, their highway patrol use black on black writing on the side of the cruisers, and all the lights are internal.
It had the ghosting on the side where you have to see it from a certain angle.
You got it. All of them. And I've seen several. Like, you can, if you know where to look at the top of their windshields, the back and front, there's a panel of lights just barely visible underneath, and that's what actually goes out. And they're completely just, I believe they're using chargers. You know, they're just they're undercover at all times, essentially.
Now take a look at Europe. the policemen there, or the police there wear bright yellow reflective vests. They're easy to see. They look intimidating but approachable.
They look like crosswalk guards.
And then you
For
look at their
Americans,
cars, and their cars are designed to be easy to see in case you need their assistance.
Almost as if they're there to help.
Yeah. No.
What a radical idea. Do you think they even protect and serve? I've heard of such things.
What a
Well, and
liberal
this-
idea.
That one was me.
This can easily devolve into a gun control debate as well, which I don't want to get into tonight.
Liberals. Why don't you want to talk about Syria? Why don't you want to talk? Let's talk about Palestine, damn it.
And granted,
I mean, we need to talk about that shit too.
I know.
But
I'm
it's
being
so
a troll.
big.
these European countries are far smaller than the United States. But when you have... Oh, I had a number here. Let me find that.
Yeah, that's one of the points they say is these are tiny little countries that don't really equate to our giant capitalist machine that churns out gun violence, apparently.
So America's police are 100 times more lethal than Finnish police, 18 times more lethal than Danish police.
My word.
And yeah, guns are harder to get in those countries, and so you need less force. But still,
How does it compare to Australia?
I'm not sure. Let me see.
I'm already hearing the chat going, "Oh, you can't compare to other countries."
Yeah, except Venezuela.
Yeah.
That's the only country we're comparable to, apparently, when we ever talk economics or any.
Well, you can use that argument against someone's ideology, but you can't use it for an ideology. Is essentially what I gather.
Okay, here's some numbers. So in Australia, there were 94 fatal police shootings between 1992 and 2011. In the United States, there were 97 fatal police shootings in March of 2015.
Yeah, and the reason I brought that up is a lot of people bring up you can't compare. I mean, and you really comparably, our gang violence in the United States does not even come close to comparing what Danish police have to put up with. So there is some merit to that argument, but in Australia, gang violence is arguably maybe worse than ours. And it's a big ass country, big, wide, vast of country with a big ass population.
Iceland,
Compare.
one fatal police shooting in the nation's 71 years of existence. Stockton,
No
California, 3 fatal police shootings in the first 5 months of 2015. Yeah, Iceland has had only 1 fatal police shooting in 71 years.
Holy crap.
Gotta pump those numbers up.
Let's see. What's the amount of police death in Australia? Let's make sure we're keeping up with the chat here, guys. We're having an active chat tonight, and it's looking good.
Oh,
At least it's all St. Michael at the moment, but I'm digging.
So I don't have a total of Australia for fatal police shootings. 94 between 92 and 2011.
Police deaths. I mean, there's a lot of big numbers. It's really contextual to who you're talking to about what they consider even relevant information to this topic sometimes. Some people will completely blow out half of what you said with no way can we ever be anything that resembles what the Danish are doing. And it doesn't make any sense, but some people really I know this game. What game is this? This is
Come on. You can do it. You can tell that we don't do a pre-production meeting, guys, as it's listed on the channel, but...
Yeah, I know.
I have access to it right here, but I've just been on the chat and I don't care.
Right. And the game isn't really as important at the moment.
Yeah, no, I'm not preparing for what game we play. That doesn't
No, this isn't a game. This isn't like a release week where we highlight a game. I will say that this game
like,
just had a remaster, and
the game is.
This is Red Faction.
Yeah, I was thinking Red Tactics. I think was what I was about to say. There's like a Guerrilla or something, right? Or
yeah,
is there a Guerrilla like DLC?
No, this is number 2. It's Red Faction 2 Guerrilla.
Okay. I kind of know.
And they actually just did a remaster of this one. It's called Remars Turd. I kid you not.
Wait, what? Mars?
I don't think they thought that name through.
No, it's actually following a theme that THQ is doing. They did something similar with the not Warhammer. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank because I've never actually played the game. But there is another one of their titles. They did a very silly remastered title for it. But literally, the last word of this is turd.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Is it a
guys.
good turd? How would you rate this turd? Since we've gotten to this point.
I'm having fun, so.
Yeah. I mean, it looks fast. Looks like it handles pretty good.
With the VSync on.
You got a smooth turd there.
Without the VSync on, it like caps at like 250 frames a second. I'm just sitting here going, this is too much frames.
That's awesome.
It's great. It's so great.
Yeah, that's about all I had on the
Warframe might be the right thing.
European versus American police.
Yeah, I will say that, like, everything around the police is more militant over here. I mean, we even had that discussion about them having like APCs and tanks and actual military grade shit.
Yeah.
So let's see. Troy.
They like flaunt them and drive them around and essentially intimidate people, but they kind of just like, you know, you see those videos of like police that are just driving around huge Humvees, like because their county has one for no reason. What else are you gonna do with it?
What the hell?
What's going on?
Oh Jesus!
Don't die, man. I definitely think a big emphasis should be on community policing and like.
That's something that,
sure that
I've heard mentioned before, and I don't know enough about. But it definitely sounds more like the actual avenue to go.
Yeah, and it might not be like the perfect solution for everything, but I think
probably not. But still,
it's gonna get us in the right direction, and it's kind of one of those things that are applicably good kind of everywhere. Like, if your police like force matches and represents your community that they're policing and they're part of it and they interact with it, generally things go a lot better and there's more conversations and you pull somebody over and you actually kind of know that person some of the time. And
well, and see, I've actually heard
big cities it might not ever be possible, but
I've heard it described as like the people deciding how they want to be policed.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly.
And that on its face sounds really, really nice, but I'm again hearing the chat room going, oh, that sounds like one of those give me a everybody wants a pony idea.
It's really not, though. I mean, like, if you live in like a super Republican area that wants all those extra tanks that we have laying around due to extra war, and you know we spent all our money on it, so now they're here. You know, I'm sure that. You know, it's going to go some directions that are, you know, not my liberal fantasy, but maybe work in parts of South Dakota that I don't fucking live and I don't have a voice. And, you know, they can change as they decide if it works or doesn't work. Maybe it does work really well in some parts of wherever. I don't know. I think that's kind of the point of it. It's more flexible. It should be a more flexible system, shouldn't it?
I would think so, personally. And this is not, and I'm kind of hearing the argument in my head of like the ultimate popular choice, like the popular vote. Even what if we decide to eradicate a group by popular vote? Like that should obviously not that should be mitigated by a system in place. Like this community policing we're talking about would not be like, oh well, if a community decides to be racist and ostracize a certain community, like that obviously wouldn't be what we would be aiming for.
No,
it would obviously still be rules in place to the community policing, but it would be more. It would be much more. The citizens would be in charge more.
Yeah,
not
generally,
entirely though. Is all I'm saying.
How it works is essentially like neighborhoods, communities, cities, however big the area people are, generally nominate people from that community that actually kind of care and will look at the policies currently in place that are not affiliated with the police, getting money from the police station, or like similarly, biased in some way. That's essentially it. And those people decide as a council of 11 or whatever, hey, some of these things don't make any sense for us as a community. And pretty much if you actually look at your community shit, there's probably things there that are only serving the police, that are only like, when you look at certain policies like, like civil forfeiture and things where the police are just like funding their own pockets and different, or not necessarily their own, like literal pockets, but funding things that are underfunded from our government and certain things in ways that like why do we even get to this point is probably what you'll think when you look into some of this shit. I don't know, there needs to be more oversight when we talk about all these like crazy what we're spending on our government frivolously. We can actually do things more efficiently if we try. That
kind of brings me to a different point that I know you heard because you were watching the same thing I was, but I want to see what Scott thinks of this. There was someone had said to us, and I haven't verified this, I just recently heard this, but there was apparently an attempt somewhere in America to make the police protected class. What do you think of that, Scott?
Now, when you say protected class, what do you mean exactly?
Well, like
no discrimination against them, or
right? So, like, it would be illegal to defame or discriminate. Like, they would be protected, like sex orientation and things like that. They would be a protected class. And now,
aren't they already?
I mean, they are,
but with legal standing is what I'm saying.
We would just be like sealing the deal on how we already treat them.
What more protection do the police need?
Yeah.
See, the thing between police and religion and sex and age, those are things that you're born into.
Born into the police, yeah, right.
You're not born into the police. It's not it's something that you go out and actively choose. You chose police.
By that same logic, shouldn't you also be protected if you're in the military? What logic? I mean, I guess I don't understand the logic behind it either.
I'm just
so maybe I'm not just like.
Who is claiming that that they're in need of further protection is what I'm baffled by.
Yeah, it's bizarre to me.
Like they're the protectors.
I consider the police almost as like high up as like the Clinton Foundation as far as protected status in this country. Like,
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Getting away with more shit.
Probably the CIA, the NSA, most other law enforcement agencies.
And like, I guess the Trump Foundation is like right below because they're not getting away quite as well, but they are definitely above the rest of us still. Like, I don't know. It's a weird country we live in.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Much and agree.
It's weird when people say it's gonna turn into North Korea, and they're like, in what ways? Not that bad, but
let's take it down a notch, shall we?
I know, dude. I was hearing that argument from like random people. It was more around like the net neutrality stuff, but just like people are gonna straight lying and censoring everything is kind of what they think when it comes to this, but we already pretty much don't trust our news in a lot of ways and stuff like that.
Did you want to talk about Ajit Pai since you brought up net neutrality?
Oh yeah, I guess we don't have a huge amount, but we could cover that real quick. Or he admitted that he lied. Yeah. I think I can Cliff's Notes it. I remember it. Do you mind?
No, please.
Okay. So Ajit Pai lied essentially back when he had those comments where the public can, bring their forum. Should we on this net neutrality issue? Ajit Pai claimed that he was DDoS right after John Oliver asked everyone to comment.
Now you want to give
which crashed their servers.
So what is a DDoS?
Because,
or can you explain that? Maybe people don't understand.
A DDoS is essentially a hacking technique or tactic of sorts, where you overload a server or like, a mainframe, something computer behind the scenes, by hitting it a bunch of times, by essentially Google searching the same thing a million times a second.
You essentially clog the bottleneck.
Or in whatever way you stop it at the right time or right edit. So in a similar way, because John Oliver had a big platform that all commented on an SEC website that normally doesn't get very much, like, that many people on it, it stopped things. And they just didn't fix it. And they just stopped letting people comment. And so all these people that were, like, kind of in a storm and, like, wanting to, like, have a voice, it kind of stopped them, and they claimed that they were hacked with this DDoS. And now he's saying, no, there was no DDoS. Because there's no evidence. There's evidence for DDoS attacks. So people were eventually going to look into it, and...
kind of leaves behind a trail.
Yeah, exactly. Even though it's like a cybercrime that we don't think about, like, there being evidence like CSI you see on TV, there's still evidence of a DDoS attack.
Oh, yeah.
So
Scott
you can't just
that.
blame that and not get away with it forever. So tell your friends who actually cared and, like, I don't know. I don't know if it matters. The only person who believed Ajit Pai was Ajit Pai. So who do I actually tell with this story? It's kind of what I was thinking when I was looking at all this stuff.
And now it's gotten so far out of the public purview. Like, I feel like it's yet again gotten there's got to be like a term for it, but the how fast the news cycle moves, it's that's already lost and forgotten. I know I've complained about that before, but it still bugs the hell out of me, and it probably always will. So be prepared for more bitching about that.
It's Orwellian.
And it's just continuously this way. I mean, like, everybody looks back at 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea as like, oh well, he was predicting the future. It's like, yeah, so is these other people too. Like, oh crap.
We're only gonna look at 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea now. Is that rational?
No,
like,
no. Meaning that like the advancements made were predicted by that book of that time. So this is going to be our analogy for it, but in backwards. Whereas that was more like a technological surge with the submarine, all the other inventions that were foretold by that book. The 1984 Orwellian series is going to be the foretelling of our future.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's yeah. Yeah, that's the line. 1984 is not an instruction manual. Right. That's what. I think I read that line before I read the book.
Oh, that's a good line.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Maybe that was the perspective I needed to actually finish that book, because I think I tried it before and it was kind of a dry read.
It's very dry, but I highly recommend.
Yeah, but it's still top 5 in my life, probably top 3. But it's a good one. What were we talking about? I had a thing about Colin Kaepernick. We were talking about Alex Jones. You want to talk about Alex Jones?
Yeah. Do you want to?
Sure.
Yeah, let's
get the main event. Somebody else set up Alex Jones. I set up the last one.
Scott, do you want to handle that? I'm doing the game.
He got kicked off of YouTube, Facebook,
Spotify, I think.
Spotify,
iTunes.
and iTunes.
It was kicked off by Apple.
In Apple. Yeah, Apple was the first one, right? And then everyone, it kind of dominoed.
I think it was
all these
Apple and
companies
Spotify. I think Apple and Spotify were the ones to kick it off.
Everyone in chat knows who Alex Jones is.
And
What?
I think Google also removed it from their search results.
Apple though is doing a concession though, which I found weird. Just to kind of skip a little bit ahead in the narrative here, they're keeping his app alive, and it has had an incredible surge in traffic.
Well, of course. Once you start banning somebody, everybody wants to know why that person's banned.
Yeah, because they
So they
go,
get
well,
a-
they must have been doing something right.
Yeah, and honestly, that's how I know
Crap.
certain things elsewise are going right, but... Oof. So yeah, he got kicked off of all these platforms kind of all of a sudden, right? Like,
It was pretty
Yeah,
simultaneous.
just within a couple of hours, yeah.
which is interesting because there's no way all these companies have the same terms of service. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, okay.
Not where-
They did
the
on basis
conversation
of
was
hate
going.
speech.
No,
Yeah.
okay. I want to push back on that just because, like, they're... Whether they all had the terms of service that was identical or not, they could... the fact that it was so coordinated is more telling than that. Plus, can they point to the exact wordage that he used to get him kicked off at this point? Because I haven't heard exactly what the infraction this time was. And if that's the case, why hasn't he been kicked off of all these platforms weeks, months ago when the Sandy Hook shit started? You know? Like, this is way too interesting. I do not I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. Like, this feels like the oligarchs are getting to these Silicon Valley oligarchs are getting to control speech. And I'm not defending Alex Jones. I really actively hate him. But
Fuck Alex Jones, but this is still kind of a bad thing to do.
I don't think this was a wise decision.
I'm not
It may
personally
not have
gonna
been a
fight for
wise
him to come
decision,
back.
but when it's on their platform, I do believe it's up to the company.
I do too. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's one of the points that I'm
I do too.
definitely hecka with that you brought up before the stream, though, that, like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna fight for Alex Jones to
No.
come back along the lines with people that are just on the same way kicking Colin Kaepernick on the street and don't give a shit that he has a freedom of speech too.
Yeah,
So,
the instance I brought up of Glenn Beck being so hypocritical about, oh well, on a private platform, they should have every right to silence Colin Kaepernick, but on a private platform you have no right to silence Alex Jones. It's pretty telling in my opinion. Oh gosh, I had another point. That's why playing a game and trying to have a discussion is hard.
it's like the name of the show, man.
Right?
Keep going, you
Living it up.
idiot. I'm just kidding.
Living it up here, guys. Oh crap. Back up.
Immediately crash his car, gets dead.
Yeah. I will say though that absolutely yes, the right now that the fact that they are a private platform, this was my original point, that they are a private platform, they have every right to kick Jones off. I'm so skeptical of the coordination. I think the coordination is way too sketchy. And I'm not sure what the conclusion I'm getting at is there, but I know I don't like it. I smell fishiness. That dude got taken out.
Yeah.
But I'm very much in the camp that I think that they hold a monopolistic power over our society. By that I mean YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, things like that. I don't know exactly what the statistic is for how many people get their information primarily from Facebook, but there's a good percentage of the population that receives a lot of their information from social media outlets like this. And times have changed. I mean, the way we govern ourselves should be adjusted with the times and how society is moving. These places like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter are acting as these town squares, these public hubs, and I think there needs to be a discussion of turning these things into utilities, so that there is a measure of free speech governing on here. Right now, free speech of Alex Jones is not being infringed in any way by him being removed from these platforms. It's not the government taking control of his speech. It's these private companies. Now, if you don't like that and you think that I'm being brash about it, well, then make it a utility and make it fair for us all. There was recently a study out, and I don't remember. I had it pulled up before the power outage, showing that there is a large amount of leftists being targeted for their opinions on campuses and on social media, just like everybody's been screaming about the right wing being silenced on campuses and on social media. I mean, make it a utility if you really think it's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of something we say that the people on the right are just adversely against. Like they're, you know, government controlling Facebook. That sounds crazy, you know, but Ted Cruz you can't really just cry about free speech if it's completely private company and you want to give private companies like limitless power, like you have been with every other policy involving private companies.
Right.
And you want to give NFL every right to silence people, every left, and you know.
And Ted Cruz just recently came out and was bitching about how Zuckerberg was getting to control speech on the internet. It's like, okay, so what's your solution then?
What do you want?
What do you want then?
Problem.
What do you want, Ted Cruz?
Yeah.
What do you want? Me?
If you actually think these private corporations are controlling free speech, do you want to have authoritarian control and take over Facebook as a government entity? And we will have a marketplace that is funded through taxpayer dollars and not advertising, and will serve as a marketplace of ideas that can actually protect Alex Jones and allow for its stupid things that I disagree with on there too.
I think there's a good chance that he's as stupid as he looks, because he may not understand what free speech really is if he thinks that a private company can infringe on your free speech.
Yeah,
they can't.
Alex Jones still has the same amount of free speech with or without Facebook. Just as Colin Kaepernick has the same amount of free speech with or without the NFL.
Yep.
Correct.
So, you have to be on one side of it or the other.
No, the right likes to totally flip that line and just jump across whichever side they want to that suits their narrative. It's not what's true, it's what's useful. I said it last week, and that it's just holding up more and more true. It's what's important to that side of the argument is not what's true, it's what's useful in the moment. What supports my agenda at the time.
And that's generally how it's perceived. That's the short-term memory of the news. They hope you don't think about what they said a month ago about the same person, or a different issue that follows, like, you know, the opposite logic, and you just don't care now because he's just, you know, there's mental gymnastics.
Yeah, the mental gymnastics are at one point obvious and so effective that I don't get it.
Yeah, there is a point to be made about free speech and Alex Jones, but why would I defend that guy?
No, and I think us, especially the left, going out of their way to come halfway to right-wingers about Alex Jones's free speech is losing us a lot of ground. I mean, this is going to be absolutely used as an excuse to silence more people. I agree. That's why I think it's a bad thing, just because it's going to give more carte blanche for this to occur more steadily, more commonly. And
yeah, I mean, do the things we say like look just as extremist to the people on the right as we think of Alex Jones? I mean,
well, I know that at least some of them view it, because I get that feedback every now and again about the show of us being so crazy socialist libtards. You know, that's not exactly. And when it comes to free speech,
you know, I would want Alex Jones to be judged the same way as me. Like, do I think he needs to be on every platform imaginable with the way he treats certain people and what I personally consider, hate speech, probably it's not going to go so well. I try and treat people a little bit better, be a little more agreeable with terms of service and shit.
But the way to take down Alex Jones is not to set a precedent for turning people's outlets off. It's to show people what he says and give them every piece of knowledge that they need to show what a charlatan, a liar, and a crazy person that Alex Jones truly is. But now he has so many more people that are gonna be able to listen to him and hear him, even though he's been quote unquote silenced, because now people are gonna go out of their way to access him.
Yeah, things are backfiring for sure.
Well, it's the Barbara Streisand effect. Just like Joe Rogan was saying, that once you draw attention to it, once you draw attention to something you want to keep quiet, everybody's gonna go, why do you want it quiet? What is it? Tell me more about it.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, the best way to clear muddy water is by leaving it alone. Bang.
That's pretty apt. Alan Watts, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's frustrating. Like, I by no means will defend Alex Jones for a fucking second, but
no,
I'd happily debunk him and or point people to don't even waste your time. Here's a page to debunk him, and then come back to me with somebody better. That's the way I want to deal with this. I don't want to silence him and then risk myself being silenced, or what about the good guy with the voice? You gun nuts! Where's all we already worried about taking away all the good free speech to fight all the bad speech. Maybe that's not an argument we want to even go down.
I just don't think it sets a good precedent.
Probably not. I don't know. I'm definitely. This is a weird one. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I would do in every situation. And I don't own one of those companies. So yeah. I'm not it's kind of like I'm not, by not being the president, it's okay if you don't know every foreign policy that's coming up. These little faux pas are okay. But when you're held to the standard that a president is, and you do the things like salute a foreign leader's military personnel, you're the president, man. You're supposed to kind of know things like this. It's like.
Yeah, you're supposed to know all three branches of government that you're in charge of.
So I don't know how exactly to move a private company into a utility. I don't know how to do that. But I'd like to have that conversation, because if you really want, like I do, for free speech to be maintained and for this to be an outlet of free speech, I want to be able to say what I want on our YouTube channel, on our Twitch channel.
Yeah.
And
as far as free speech goes, and we're all defending it for a constitution, you're good.
It's a little bit.
You got me hyped up. I didn't mean to even interrupt. I'm just, yeah, you're right. I didn't have anything to fucking say. I just was really into it.
Yeah, what he said. What was I saying?
I know, or agree with the West Buddha Baptist. West Boro Bure. I love your autocorrect.
Yeah.
Westboro?
I know exactly what you mean, but it's funny how you spelled that.
Speaking of the Westboro
Baptist, I will forever
Baptist,
fight the right to do what they do.
They're apparently having a protest of Joe Rogan tomorrow.
Yeah, and just as much as
awesome.
Is my camera stuttering?
You know you're doing good if those people hate you.
Yeah, a little. It was fully locked for a second.
Maybe a little. And now I'm overthinking it. What
Yeah,
reality are you in again?
I don't know anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah, that one's hard to parse out.
I think it was Chrome.
Why is Chrome such a hog? It's a browser. Holy crap!
True.
I cannot withstand the firepower. Holy shit!
Damn. So something similar I wanted to bring up, since I keep bringing up Colin Kaepernick, I guess, that kind of goes right along with this. Did you know that in the Madden NFL 2019 and 2018, I learned they did this last year as well, the game edits out, like bleeps out like a curse word, Colin Kaepernick's name from a song.
Wow.
When you want to talk about censorship, what side are we on?
What?
This was just released the other day.
There's a song
Apparently
in Madden that includes Colin Kaepernick's name, and they bleep it?
They bleep it out like a curse word. They apologize for it. EA has apologized for this, but they did it in 2018 as well. Yeah.
Wow.
It's really funny, like the clean version of the track without Colin Kaepernick's name. Just like reading the article like makes me laugh, even like skimming through it. Like, this is so bizarre. Like the snowflakiness of the NFL. Just what? These are the people that want me to fight for Alex Jones?
Oh
no,
my! What?
Not a chance. Yeah, EA described it as an unfortunate mistake they made 2 years in a row. What? I didn't know they did that last year. I wish I would have known. That's really funny. My people that actually played that game should have told me. It's annoying.
Oh man, that's so. I don't even know what to say.
You weren't expecting that one. I
No.
didn't prep you guys on that story. I found it as we were starting. So I just saved it for the end. I'm like, I feel like this is relevant. React.
Man,
I don't know.
Let's destroy this kid because he disagrees with us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
you
all
petty,
he's...
you petty little bitches. All right, I'm mad now. I'm all the way mad. Fuck you all for fucking
Yeah.
with this guy, for having a goddamn opinion. Okay?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
In the
and
free
your
speech
bullshit.
argument, the free speech argument cannot and should not revolve around Alex Jones. Fuck that guy. There's an argument for
Man.
free speech, but I'm not going to argue for Alex Jones.
Everybody
Fuck
has a hard-on for Colin Kaepernick to the point where his name is a curse word.
that. Yeah. Honestly,
You snowflakiest little snowflakes.
I feel like in a way that's kind of an award you should, like, you could be given. Like, you were hated so much by, like, these extremist people that
Oh my god.
it's so funny. Yeah, but they're making, you know, $4 billion off this game. Also, just to rehash that fact from
Wow.
earlier. And the players get 50 million. And they're scrubbing out certain players' names and censoring. Like, what the fuck? They don't want Colin Kaepernick to even have been a player, I'm assuming. Like, if they really could do it.
Please stop
Yeah, they're
existing.
making it out like he committed murder or something.
Yeah. Yeah, they have all the names of the, you know, players
like-
that have sexual assault against their girlfriends. That's not a problem. That's
No,
never
but it's
been
like
a
if
problem.
you watch WWE,
They're not
they've
cursed.
completely scrubbed Chris Benoit from the books.
I don't know.
Like they will
that story.
bleep his name out, but then again,
Is that
he
different?
murdered his family.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's a little bit more
Context.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Is it bothersome that the right reacts to things like a family being murdered similarly? Like they react similarly? Colin Kaepernick didn't murder anybody. He spoke out against police brutality. Didn't murder his family. Don't miss it. Don't
That's
mix it
because
up.
O.J. Simpson didn't get convicted.
Yeah. I don't know where to go from there.
The glove did not fit, so they did acquit.
I don't. Wow.
I'm out. I'm out. O.J. Simpson isn't bleeped out. Why put that song in the game? That's another point. Like, if this, yeah, why would you
Why
even
go
put
through
it in
that?
the game? I think it maybe had a precedent of already being in the game, but the song came out after the controversy for sure. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm with you though. Why would the NFL even put that in it
Boned.
if they were gonna bleep it out?
It was probably EA's decision.
Oh, that song has gotta be like. Why else would you reference Kaepernick unless you were in
Oh, yeah,
support
it
of him?
seems
I
not,
suppose.
Maybe NFL pressured EA. I wonder.
That doesn't seem worthwhile to me. There's a lot wrong with that entire situation. But all you free speech warriors want to ever bring up Kaepernick to me
Yeah.
ever again.
Yeah, it's just atrociously like, I don't know. It's a joke. It's almost satire of itself. It's so ridiculous. People hate on Colin Kaepernick. And really, what did he do that pissed you off so much? Show me on the doll where Kaepernick hurt you, you righties. Like, what do you, like, and I'm supposed to
Should
feel
write that
bad
one
for
down.
Alex Jones?
I'm gonna write that one down.
Yeah.
Do it for the live show.
There you go. Show me on the doll where Kaepernick hurt you. Maybe I should just stay quiet for a little while. Let you guys talk.
Let's see here.
I don't know. It's a lot of BS these days. And yeah, is the conversation even about free speech? Might be another way to put this too.
I don't.
I'm torn. I'm torn on that.
I don't think as it stands it is. I think it can be turned into a thing of free speech, and the alternative is obviously to make these public forums a utility. But as it stands now, no one's free speech has been infringed upon. If you don't like the activities of corporations like the rest of us liberals don't, then
So
you know, this goes back to my point where the only way you can turn a Republican into a liberal is by letting them live under Republican rule and letting them suffer firsthand. But that doesn't even work sometimes. But they only care if they suffer themselves personally, whereas a liberal looks outside of himself, or at least idealizes that way.
I can't force a Republican where to live, but the least I can do is not shed one tear for them when it turns this way, and they started all that shit with Kaepernick.
You know what? Speaking of not being able to tell people where to live, I have a question for you guys. Do you have control over the people who move into your neighborhoods, into your communities?
Shouldn't. I don't like that idea.
No.
Does that bother you that you don't have control over your local demographics?
It would bother me if somebody did have control
Yes.
over who was moving in and out of my neighborhood.
So you'd say that would be
I mean,
that would be
apart
just,
from maybe like criminals and certain things that maybe are extreme to this example.
well, what if it was determined by, like, say, I don't know, race? Would that
No, I don't think that should be a determining factor.
Okay, let's
Or
take it from another angle. Would it bother either of you if the demographics of your environment changed?
What do you mean?
Like if-
Environment change?
Like your local neighborhood, like if you all of a sudden there was like, oh look, there's now all of a sudden more Indian people living in this community. There's more black people living in this community.
Nope.
Does that bother
I've
anybody
lived
here?
I've lived
Anybody?
in other neighborhoods
No.
with different demographics.
Hell no, it doesn't bother.
There's less people throwing fireworks in the street.
I feel like most people should experience most demographics
Yeah, no kidding.
in
I feel like it
general.
only benefits you too.
Yeah, kind of the best way to understand your world.
Now,
So-
the reason why I'm setting this up and sound like a complete jackass
Yeah, how dare you?
is
that wasn't leading at all.
no, no, I don't. I definitely don't telegraph my moves either.
No.
Let's see here. I find it quite shocking sometimes when when this just ultra racism is couched in this whole, well, we didn't get a choice as Americans. Now,
Wait,
we've
what?
shown
We didn't get a choice?
yes. Now wait. Now I've shown on this channel a favorite of mine, Laura Ingraham. I'm going to show you another clip.
Oh, I didn't actually watch this.
All right.
Shit. I didn't get to it. I got distracted by Joe Rogan. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch this.
That's fine. That's totally fine. Now, I believe that my co-host will be able to hear this clip, but
Hopefully.
I will double check here.
Sometimes it's tricky.
This I got from another one of my YouTube guys. It was clipped by a channel called Dollamore. I believe his channel is Statesmith. Nice to have other people do my clipping for me. Here we go.
Because in some parts of the country, it does seem like the America that we know and love doesn't exist anymore. Massive
I'll agree with you
demographic
there.
changes have been foisted upon
Wait.
the American people.
But not there.
And they're changes that none of us ever voted for and most of us don't like.
She's showing video of farming, like agriculture. What?
Yeah,
Is that even leading to the right thing?
there. With that clip, that wasn't ad lib. I want everybody to notice this. That wasn't ad lib. That was
She's reading from
prepared.
a script.
That was prepared prompt. Like her and her staff. I assume it was her and her staff that procured and curated that video footage that was that she was talking over, but it was very intentional. Like there was a few shots, I believe, of people crawling up a wall, like crawling over the border wall and things like that. Like
I don't think I noticed that. I
see
maybe
if
I
I
was
can-
going back and forth. So she's painting a picture. That's what's going on. This is generalizations and framework for a people that she's going to name after this.
let
she
me
leads.
let me back it up and see if I can play it again real quick. I'm actually down one screen, so I don't have control. As much control over the clip.
I believe in you. You can do it.
I'll get there.
Click the mouse real good.
On you, okay. Probably could ease my pain by doing this. There we go.
Currently petting 2 dogs, but one dog is jealous that I'm not only petting him. That's what's happening below the screen. Just so you know. Giving you 5 seconds to kill. There you go.
Clarification noted.
Subliminal messaging. Yeah, I mean, Ivan Etniage. Is that? Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like to me.
All right, let's play that clip one more time here.
With brown people. Watch.
General sense. Because in some parts of the country, it does seem like the America that we know and love doesn't exist anymore. Massive demographic changes have been foisted upon the American people. And they're changes that none of us ever voted for and most of us don't like.
Yeah. There was a clip later that had the wall crawling on it. But yeah,
It's
all
just
of it was
farmers
farming.
right now.
All of it
It's
was
just
farming
farming.
clips. I mean, there's a reason why all of those clips included brown people.
Interesting.
But
Probably the only clip that Fox News shows with only brown people are the ones like that. What a surprise.
But think of the sentimentality behind it. The American people have had demographic changes hoisted on them.
Yeah.
Without us voting on it.
I've said it here. The party is now racist. We've dropped euphemisms. We're not trying to worry about immigration. We're literally pissed at Mexicans, apparently, as a government right now, because that's who's in charge of all three wings, all 3 branches. You know, what policy is the wall that isn't racist? That's the one that they're all parading right now as the most important thing. He kept all his promises. Now we just got to finish the wall, apparently. What the? Okay, I guess you can like that. It's not the end of the.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about that other than it's just this is the kind of thing that
Yeah, get rid of all
a
farmers.
large population of people is exposed to this kind of groupthink.
Damn. Did that have more to the clip? Or was that it? Did I sum it up?
That was the portion of the clip that I wanted to show. Because that was pretty well her intent with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how else you could say.
What else is
those
she trying to
words.
say? Did we miss something majorly where she's just talking about like, yeah, no. Shadow Demon. It's a black lab, but Shadow Demon might work.
Shadow Demon? Oh, nice. Oh, here was a fun thing. I'm gonna do this in passing here. Jordan Peterson posted a PragerU video.
Great. I think I've finally gotten PragerU off of my YouTube suggestions.
You
Took a
finally
while.
told him that I'm not interested in seeing this anymore.
Yeah, I've had enough of them debunked that I don't need to even waste my time.
No, it's the only university that you come away from dumber.
Not. I mean, Trump University, but I guess that's over now.
You just came away poorer. Prager actually sets out to try to teach people. Trump
Yeah,
never
that's-
attempted to teach people, at least that I could gather.
Can unlearn you so good, you're gonna wish I didn't unlearn you so good. I don't know, it's so bad. I haven't seen anything of value from Prager yet.
It was just incredible how thoroughly it was debunked underneath it. And
Even in the comments section?
oh yeah, by the comment section, someone quote tweeted back with the actual chart that Prager was taking its instance from. It was essentially, it showed these temperature fluctuations over time, and it said, well, look, if you draw a line down the middle, everything is just staying the same. It's not getting warmer, it's not getting anything. Everything's the same. Go about your day. And if you zoom out on that chart,
nothing to see here.
yeah, nothing to see here. And if you zoom out on the actual chart, or if you looked at the bottom, they had clipped off the time scale. They had clipped off the x-axis on the chart they were showing. It turned out to be a 10-year gap, or a 20-year gap rather. And if you zoomed out to 100 years, the chart did this.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's reversed on your screen here, so it would have done this.
Yeah, no, that's perfect that time. Yeah, no, but I got you. These are the people that are crying about fake news?
Yeah, and here's the deal too. That's a good point. That's an amazing point to have brought up, because the accompanying assholery that Jordan Peterson put on his tweet was that, oh, here's something to trigger the libs. So you're not trying to inform people, you just want to rile people up and be angry. You are such a pseudo-intellectual lying charlatan. I can't believe this person is so revered as an intellectual. He's a charlatan. He's a pseudo-intellectual misinformer. He's absolutely destructive with his spreading of false information. Like, this isn't, I mean, it's narrative-driven bullshit. Just like the fact that his entire foundation for his fame is built on him totally projecting a lie onto a Canadian bill that didn't do what he claimed it did.
Yeah.
So he lied from the start and got propped up by all these incel men, and is the person that we know and hate today. I can't stand it anymore. I had to get that out. And we're moving past Jordan Peterson, because I've had this discussion many a time.
Yeah, he reminds me of that lady that got fired from the lady who got fired for denying the gay couple to get their marriage license. Only like if that lady'd gotten really popular on YouTube pages. It just makes no sense. Like, that's how it feels.
Well, if someone loud enough who sounds smart enough can defend your ideals, you'll jump to them. But the minute someone who sounds smart that disagrees with your ideas, they're just these liberals, and science is for ninnies.
Yeah. All of a sudden now we don't need to listen to the other side of the argument after, and it's completely discredited before you think about it. It's in this little box of not have to think about problems that people say discredit my idea.
Time and time again I see this this lack of staying to a single narrative on the right. They're using information that's useful, not true. I'm gonna pound this home because I don't see it turning around any other way. Like, it's just, you can't convince someone out of it because it's useful to a narrative. Like,
people don't want to change what they already think. They just want to feel passionately sometimes, about what they already believe.
I wonder if these people have ever experienced a change of heart. Like, for instance, changing your religion. Changing your political
don't
party.
Have big changes like that all the time, or like haven't. Well, I guess a lot of and if you think about younger voters, a lot of them haven't gone through things like that. I mean, maybe a lot of people when they leave college and stuff like that, but it's interesting. I don't know. Nobody groups people that way in a way that I think I could even research, like, how do people vote via after major life events such as,
That would be an interesting study, but I've talked to... Really?
You died right there?
No, one of the sky bombs that's shot by nobody, apparently, randomly hit one of the colonists, or hit the apartment the colonist was in, and the apartment crushed him.
Good game. An alignment shift. Can we research who has had an alignment shift and if it changes their voting or how they deal with fake news?
Well, then we're
off
talking
the deep end.
Yeah, now I think there's way too many variables. Plus, we're not social psychologists.
Sociologists? Sociologists?
That's a different profession.
Sociologicals?
Okay, I don't think this method of naming is gonna work out for the field.
No, I should not be in charge of anything important. Essentially.
What else did we have?
I feel like we had other things. We talked about Ajit Pai. That guy's an idiot.
And he's been an idiot.
Yeah. Alex Jones, still an idiot, but complicated topic a little bit.
Yeah, and again, like, I'm not sure how to properly have handled it.
It's hard to say.
But I'm not in that position, so therefore, I feel like it's okay to be like, I don't know, I'd like to discuss it because I feel like there could have been a better way of handling this. But
yeah,
but even saying that is seen as weakness to our opposition. I've
got an idea for you that I thought of earlier, and maybe you can finish the idea or just change it so it actually works and isn't silly. But hey, maybe instead of like these videos that you think are hate speech, Facebook and YouTube and Apple and Spotify, these things that, pretty much I agree with you mostly that they are hate speech generally, but it's not me personally here to say what isn't hate speech. So, what if we like, instead of blocking all those videos, have like a big moniker like, hey, that's perfect timing. Like, hey, this video has been flagged for possible hate speech. You decide for yourself and vote at the end, or something like that.
No,
so like, no.
You cannot have facts by popular opinion ever. That is incredibly no. Absolutely no.
Not necessarily like to ban it, but so like, should this be? I don't know. I don't know where that was going. I was thinking about that.
It should not. It should never be up to a vote.
Maybe that is completely a bad idea.
It should never be up to a vote. It should be factually based.
But I'm trying to think of, you got to kind of do something with this video and let people know that it's been flagged for hate speech without taking it down. That's where I'm stuck a little bit. So that I was trying to meet in the middle. I understand I met the wrong way, but that's where I was like, well, maybe
Yeah,
we
I
just
don't
let
know.
people know and then let them watch it. I don't want anybody to not watch it. Just give them a heads up.
Well, it's kind of
And
like, but at the same
maybe
time,
no
though,
vote,
I
but
don't think
still
I
something like
don't.
that.
I don't feel like a video that incites violence should be up for people to watch. I don't. Think
I don't think it
that
should just be
simply
up like every other video.
I don't think
as
that
no
simply
problem.
flagging it is. I don't.
But I
know.
don't want things censored at all either. I'm
Where are you
pretty
weighing on
well
that, Scott?
purist on.
Where are you weighing on that, Scott? Are you muted?
Oh, shit.
Am I?
Yeah, you were.
Shit.
There you go. If,
Now you're
if
muted.
Scott was commenting through any of this, we didn't hear any of it.
Yeah,
Sorry, buddy.
I was wondering why I was just getting talked over.
Well, I didn't. You were muted.
I'm
get
trying to kind of watch the game
So-
too, so I missed you. I'm sorry.
It's all right. So no, I think it's up to the platform to decide what can and can't be on the platform. I definitely think a popular vote is a bad idea, and actually,
with
I
you.
just
I'm-
recently watched an episode of the Orville.
Oh,
It's
how
called
is that?
Majority Rule. I'm actually really enjoying the Orville. It's not as Family Guy as I was expecting it to be, which is
Huh.
a very good thing because I'm pretty well done with Family Guy. But
Does it have good humor though? Like, does Seth MacFarlane do a good job, or is it?
Yeah,
more
I
like
think
a
the humor is
serious role.
I think the humor's pretty good in it. I mean, it's serious at points, but it's also comedy and it's sci-fi, which I love.
Sure.
But the episode called Majority Rule, first season, episode 7. It's basically like, you know, what if the people had complete control and all they had to do was just vote on it? It was literally a badge that people wore with likes and dislikes, like and dislike buttons.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Pop culture.
Yeah, that does sound
reference.
horrible.
Like Yelp for people.
Ew. Ew.
Okay, I like that idea.
And if you reached a certain amount of dislikes, you were put to death. It's an
Oh,
interesting
was this like?
interesting little thing.
Was
but-
this like a society that did this, or?
Yes.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that turns into the idea of, well, if we all decide to kill the gays, we all decided it. Which is
Yeah.
obviously not what anyone in this stream, or I think in
Yeah.
reality, would really want. Well,
Yeah, I'm not-
anybody in my reality.
Yeah. How I imagined that working was not how. Yeah. You're right about the vote. But still,
Unfortunately,
I still think maybe like some sort of banner, like speed bump, for potentially toxic extreme videos.
Let me
I mean,
let me throw in one
maybe
thing before you.
because I can get through a speed bump too, and
Sure.
understand people can judge my videos as not hate speech, hopefully, and I think that I'm willing to put my videos to the test on hate speech, so it's not a big deal. Like,
I would, and I
Yeah.
I
but
absolutely.
you're right. A vote is a bad idea in the way I presented it. That's fair.
Let me throw in one other thought I had about being the marking system. Didn't everybody get their panties in a wad about YouTube labeling RT as a Russian paid for?
It still says
marking
that.
on
I
it?
think.
Oh yeah,
I saw that the other day.
it still says
My-
it.
My
But
internet just spiked, so I missed all of that.
We mentioned how RT still has Russia. Oh, you're still speaking.
yeah.
See you on the
Usually-
other side, buddy.
Yeah, for everybody watching, Scott's not usually that still. I mean, he can lie in wait,
Hey.
but oh, there he is.
Am I back?
You look like you're back.
My internet keeps flashing on and off on my computer, but it's not doing anything else. I might have to call it good for tonight and restart my system.
Oh man.
It is flickering a lot. In a
Yeah,
great way.
it's not stable right now.
Yeah, it's odd at best.
I mean, I think it might be stable now, so we'll
Scott's
try it.
not
If it happens
stable,
again, I'm
but
going to
still.
reboot.
Yeah, that's fine, bud. We are
Stop
coming
slow.
up towards the 10 o'clock hour, our usual stop time. We do appreciate all the comments and everybody joining us as we wrap up our final thoughts. But we were mentioning the how to the marking of like hate speech videos and things like that, and I asked if didn't everybody get their panties in a bunch about RT and PBS being labeled as government news and things like that.
Funded by the Russian government.
Well, PBS is funded by the American government, and CBS is funded by the Canadian government. And they're all labeled. And I personally, I was like, okay, that's fine. I get that you're not doing it for transparency reasons. Like I would want that, but I still didn't find it to be like the end of the world. Like those things are true. Like, is it an inconvenient truth, or are you just using it for your smear job? I know which one is true. I know what you're using it as a smear job against RT and things like that, but it's still true.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, but why? Why are you doing that?
Why?
You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those, just like, but why? You know, like, technically, you know, yeah, you know, you're like, you know, people that say that it's made as a fruit instead of a vegetable or whatever, you know, you're just causing trouble here. You're just picking a fight when you don't have to pick a fight. I don't quite get it.
Again, it's
and it's still there. I don't
think
understand
what
this purpose it really is serving.
It's not. I don't think it's serving much of a purpose personally, but it's this. I'm still going to point back to this being a monopolistic power that these corporations are holding over our major avenues of speech. And I definitely think that needs to be called into question. I mean, if we're gonna call into question net neutrality by the right wing, I'm gonna call into question this hypocrisy of free speech bitching. Like again, like Ted Cruz is yapping about this as an infraction of free speech and them controlling a lot of the forums for communication for Americans, which I actually agree that's a problem with you, Ted Cruz, but you're also the one who voted against net neutrality too.
Yeah, you're not really champion for the side. You're just conveniently like,
it's
aligned.
useful. It's useful. It's not a fact. It's useful. And another thing I wanted to point out before the stream ends too, did you see that because Beto O'Rourke is doing so well here in Texas, Ted Cruz, who there's such good footage of him playing the Donald Trump, if you come after my wife, you got another thing coming, and being all tough guy against Trump when Trump was treating him like the cuck lord, the little beta male that he is.
Really shitting on Ted Cruz during the campaign.
Yeah, and he treated him like the beta male that he is. He got all tough. He tried to get all tough guy, and then ended up phone banking for him. He recently called in for Trump to come and help him here in Texas. Come down to Texas and help campaign for him, because it's and this is something I got from TYT, but I think it's funny as hell. It's Beto versus Beta.
Beto versus Beta.
You know, beta male versus Beto O'Rourke.
That does sound interesting. I might check that out later.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start getting more into Beto O'Rourke's campaigning and whatnot, and probably be presenting more stuff. Oh, are you kidding?
I'm interested in that too. I want to know more about him.
He's not a Justice Democrat, which is weird because he is independently not taking PAC money, but he won't join the Justice Democrats.
Interesting. But interesting.
Yeah,
we should talk about him. Let's tease that and then maybe kill the show. Let's talk about Beto next time. Beto, like Alberto. Beto.
Yeah,
Beto.
Beto O'Rourke.
I feel like I can say that letter E 5 different ways somehow.
Yeah. The way I've heard it pronounced is Beto O'Rourke.
I think Beto makes sense. I think that's how I've heard it. I've heard of him a little bit, but not enough to be confident. Maybe next show I'll be prepared. And that sounds awesome. He would be a
fun research topic. He is going up against Ted Cruz in the midterms here. Hopefully gonna unseat that little beta male.
Yeah, Ted Cruz needs to say bye to politics. That'd be nice. You're really not doing anything good.
Here's something interesting, and I don't think I'm I'm just gonna say it outright. I don't think I'm strong enough to survive a Trump rally, but there might be a Trump rally nearby. Being that I'm in Texas now, and Trump is coming to campaign for Ted Cruz.
You should live stream it from your phone.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
doing a
know
lot more campaigning right now than
Like when
president.
we did the net neutrality one.
I know. I was gonna say I'm thinking about doing that. It might be
That was fun.
It might be record. Well, I don't have backup. Is the thing.
Yeah.
I don't have you guys locationally available. So I might have to go in incognito and just kind of go under the radar, you know, plain shirt and whatever, instead of like trying to cause a scene, because that's not what I'm not gonna not gonna enjoy that, and B, I don't want to start things with people. I enjoy it when I watch other people do it, though. I will say that the Schadenfreude is totally there.
Stay safe.
Totally.
But
I really don't want that to even be a concern, personally.
I wish it wasn't a concern, but
It's so sad. Like, it's so sad. And I'm not going to play the Jim Acosta line either of being like, oh, well, look at these disgusting blah, 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 blah. Like, they weren't being violent towards you, Jim. Like, they were being very obscene towards you, but they weren't being violent. Why don't you shut up and actually report something instead of giving them reason to hate you? Because you're doing a bad job, Jim. You're doing a bad job. You're doing a bad job. Okay. Was I clear?
You good?
Was I clear? Okay. But that would be fun,
right.
I think, to get some footage of a Trump rally in person.
do it.
That would be really fun. We'll see. We'll see where
Stream it
his.
live.
We'll see where his stops are gonna be, and see how far
Interesting.
it's gonna take. How
Check it
much
out.
mileage.
Just go
I'm gonna
full Bill O'Reilly.
Maybe I can find an excuse.
Fuck it, we'll do it
get. Yeah, that's right, dude. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
It'll be fun.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for joining us here this week on Distraction and Discussion. Please, again, reach out to us on Twitter. Reach out to us on Facebook. We will be hopefully finding some stability in our newfound platforms and look to improve our format in every way possible. So give us suggestions of games, of topics, discussion, format. You know, we're here to make a show that other people want to enjoy too, that we enjoy. So let's get some feedback.
Or pick
going.
a fight.
Yeah,
Pick a fight. We're down. Let's go.
just know that you'll probably be responded to by the one over. Let's see, over there, that one, the far one. Dalton will probably be handling most of the arguing online. I'm not getting into that. You can tweet or yell at Dalton. I'm gonna play the I don't do social media card. But for Distraction and Discussion, I have been Alex. We've got Scott, and we've got Dalton.
I remembered it.
I wasn't prepared.
No,
Yeah.
we don't have
The one thing you had to prepare.
scripted.
I didn't know
outros.
what you were doing.
Oh, it's cool.
Scripted outros here. Yep.
Oh yeah, perfect every time.
Until a later date, guys. Remember, stay skeptical, and we will see you next week.
Love you guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.